I just read this article on Fox News by Thornton D. Barnes. That's Thornton D as in Delta Barnes. And I want to reflect upon what it is that I, one Sir Grove, just read. By the way, thanks for tuning in to another ep of C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. If you're an actual fan of the show, that is a for real fan and not a fake ass fan. If you're not a perpetrator, imposter, fucking fraud ass punk, fucking fakester, imposter, poser ass motherfucker, pretending to be a fan of the show, if you're a real genuine fan, man, and you actually like the energy that we 495 bring on a daily basis, nightly basis, if you actually like and appreciate and respect, support what it is that we 495 do, then we 495 reciprocate. We most fucking certainly appreciate you, man, for real. And you know that if you're for real. So I'm reading this article. It's an opinion piece published 2 hours ago on the foxnews.com website. Quote, Thornton TD, that is Tango Delta Barnes. Thornton TD Barnes, Area 51 veteran. Why the proposed September storming of Area 51 is a terrible idea. I read the article, man. And Mr. Barnes, I doubt you're listening to my podcast here. But if in some type of quantum entanglement you happen to hear this podcast, I most certainly appreciate, commend, applaud, and salute you for your service to country. Remaining objective and impartial, I've read here that it is your opinion in all of the years that you spent working at Area 51 that there are no aliens at Area 51. That is your belief. At least that is what you have stated openly. And I respect your belief, and I hear what you're saying, and that is your assertion. That is the statement that you have made. Your remarks are such. For the record, you say, let's see here, let's scroll down, and, quote, there are no and have never been aliens or quote, there are no and have never been aliens or extraterrestrial craft at Area 51, period, are your words. You were there as long as you were. And I am not here to refute your statement. In addition to your analysis, in all of the years that you worked at Area 51, it may be, in fact, true what you said, that in terms of Area 51, the little square itself, there may be no aliens there or alien aircraft or crafts at Area 51, but there are, in fact, alien crafts at S-4 right down the motherfucking street from Area 51. So, that intel we have from a Mr. Bob Lazar. And that information is on record for the American people. Now, again, I understand what some people doing their research do not understand. They often hear about Area 51 as if it's the only motherfucking area, which is really goddamn interesting because it's kind of sort of in the context of just referring to Area 51 and no other area. It's kind of an arbitrary number in that context. It's like, yeah, Area 51, that's the place where there's like aliens and spacecraft. Well, I get it. I understand because I've done the research. We're talking about S as in Sierra dash 4. S-4, where the alien crafts really, truly, actually are. And I have to say, for the official record, as a U.S. intelligence community long-standing contractor that is participant paid member for the work that I've done in my association in carrying out successful operations with United States Intel, that is the U.S. intelligence community, and someone who's long studied UFOs, the space program that is secret and kept hidden from the public, and everything else that I've done in terms of decades of research into the secret space program, aerospace engineering, extraterrestrial intelligence, information, outer space, off-world, interdimensional, extra-dimensional, hyperdimensional research, parallel universes, similar to what Professor Michio Kaku talks about in his many books, and the body of knowledge and information that comprises the works of Hugh Everett III, that is the third. I understand that despite your background and all of what you've done for America, maybe you just don't know what's 100% at Area 51. But let's just suppose for a moment that you are correct. Let's go with your analysis that at Area 51 proper, there are no alien crafts. Well, we already know that there are alien crafts that transit planet Earth. And I'm pretty sure that aliens have been to Area motherfucking 51. Because aliens definitely keep close watch of human affairs. Especially the motherfucking military's shit. So, undoubtedly, unarguably, because it really is arguably the truth, that aliens have at some point in time absolutely been to Area 51. Now, I hear your statements, and I understand what you're saying. That currently, there are, according to your knowledge, no alien that is extraterrestrial, off-world spacecrafts or aliens themselves housed at Area 51 proper. Well, there's another area that's known as S-4, and that's what S-4 is for. So that's where they actually are, and that's very close nearby. You might not be privy to that highly compartmentalized information, because according to what you say you've done, which I have no reason to believe that you haven't done what you say you have done, is that you tracked different types of objects and vehicles in the atmosphere in terms of radar tracking and using sensors and tracking systems and things of that nature. So I totally understand that. And I'm not here to berate you. I believe that you believe what you believe. And I totally understand what your accolades are, what is to your merit, and your background as you have presented it. The other thing that I know is that in the highly compartmentalized government of ours, according to what you have stated, indicated, said that you have been doing for the U.S. government, it looks like a lot of what you've been doing involves the tracking of aircraft. So I'm guessing that either A, what you said is true in your mind, in that there are no aliens at Area 51 that you have ever seen, or B, there are, and you know that, and you're being facetious when you say that there are not. So it's either A or B. It's one of those two. It's one, the first, or two, the second. That is the former, as opposed to the latter. Or the latter as opposed to the former, is what I meant. So it's going to be one of those. So either you know about the aliens and you're saying that you don't, or you don't know about the aliens, but they're there anyway. And even if they're not in the area where you worked, which is 51, they're at S-4 because we have overwhelming empirical data, evidence, information to support and corroborate what the fuck I just said. So they're definitely at S-4. 100% certainty that aliens and alien crafts have long been stored at S-4. Maybe you just didn't know. I'm going to err on the side of reason and guess that you do know that. Because I see that you've also worked at CIA. And let's see here. Let's take a look at S-4. And Groom Lake, S-4 in relation, proximity to, let's just look this up here, Area 51. And we haven't even begun to talk about the other areas, like Area 50 and Area 52 and Area 49 and Area 48 and 47 and 46 and so on. We haven't even begun to talk about that. But again, your statement is that there have never been, as far as you know it to be, aliens or alien crafts, that is alien technologies, at Area 51. So let's go. Area 51. First thing that pops up. Talking about Area 51 in Wikipedia, quote, is the common name of a highly classified United States Air Force USAF facility located within the Nevada Test and Training Range. Well, it says highly classified, but Bob Lazar came forward after he took an oath and made a vow of secrecy. Subsequent to that, he provided certain information in terms of disclosure. So Area 51 is not as classified as some make it out to be. It says elevation 4,462 feet, 1,360 meters. Coordinates 37 degrees north, 115 degrees west. All right, direction range, runways, length, surface. All right, we got asphalt closed at 5,420 feet, 12,000 feet asphalt. It says the intense secrecy surrounding the base has made it the frequent subject of conspiracy theories. Well, we don't need conspiracy theories. We have the actual truth. It says, quote, the CIA publicly acknowledged the existence of the base for the first time on 25 June 2013. Well, that's because Bob Lazar provided that information before CIA did. Bob Lazar actually divulged the information 35 years ago, long before CIA did. And the only reason CIA did is because Bob Lazar did it 35 years before the CIA did, and everyone had pretty much already motherfucking figured it out in my circles. And I already knew anyway, because I have relatives who have worked for the Black Hole program. That's the Boeing program that used to be referred to as the Black Hole program. And yes, I'm talking about Area 51. When I was a kid, by the way, back in junior high school, have a lot of relatives who have worked at Boeing. So I'm familiar with Lockheed. I'm familiar with Skunk Works. I'm familiar with Phantom Works. I'm familiar with the other Boeing company. And I'm pretty much familiar with Solar Warden and our secret space program. So the government, before 2013, claimed the same thing that you're claiming, that there are no aliens and that there are no spacecrafts. But then the government changed its position and admitted that the base exists. And our own mutual government, Mr. Barnes, just recently also admitted to the existence of UFOs. Bob Lazar did that 35 motherfucking years ago. So, to say that UFOs, that is, those are aliens, advanced extraterrestrial biological entities, been coming here to Earth. Well, why the fuck wouldn't they visit Area 51, where we, that is the American people, we are the government, where we have been testing advanced aircraft and spacecraft? Why the fuck wouldn't aliens come check that shit out? So you and I actually both know that aliens have in fact been at Area 51. In fact, documentary information not only suggests it, but proves that information empirically, irrefutably, and incontrovertibly. Now, I understand in your compartmentalized program, there are instructions for you to never admit to the existence of the aforementioned, the aforestated. Albeit and notwithstanding, let's look at former NATO intelligence officer Robert, I believe it's Dean, former NATO intelligence officer Robert Dean. He also violated his oath of secrecy. Oh, right here, Truth About UFOs and ETs. Robert Dean. Yeah, he came forward as well. He's already spilled the beans, just as did Bob Lazar. Now let's look up Paul Hellyer. Paul Hellyer, former defense minister, Canada, aliens. Let's go. Let's go, Google. Paul Hellyer. As Minister of Defense, he oversaw the drastic and controversial integration and unification of the Royal ... Okay, here we go. Here's from CNET. Quote, Canada's ex-defense minister, aliens would give us more tech if we'd stop. Oh, here we go. Who has long insisted, quote, that aliens have visited the Earth for many years. Well, there you have it, Mr. Barnes. So you have the former defense minister of the world's second largest country. I'm sure he's not an insane lunatic. You have Bob Lazar, who's a physicist with a degree from MIT. And our shadow government tried to scrub and sanitize his background. They walked into MIT, guns drawn, badges shown, and they said, we are with the United States government. We need for everyone to listen to the following information. There is a subject here. This is his information. If anybody from the media ever contacts this institution and requests any information pertaining to, regarding his file, records, background, the mere fact that he ever even attended this institution, anybody who admits to any such information will end up in a motherfucking government black site indefinitely, and your families will be erased from existence. Yeah, so we know from the investigative process, and we can bring that up right now so that the world can understand here. Bob Lazar, George Knapp, investigator, Nevada. You see, I do my research too, Mr. Barnes. I'm one Sir Grove. Says right here, George Knapp, born 18 April 1952, is an American television investigative, I'm going to guess journalist, reporter. Let's see, let's bring this up here. Journalist, news anchor, and talk radio host. What a coincidence. Knapp is recognized with an Edward R. Murrow Award, Peabody Award, and as a recipient of over a dozen Emmys. I'm sure he's probably an insane lunatic too, just like the former, oh yeah, that's right, Minister of Defense for Canada. And I'm pretty sure that Robert Dean, former NATO intelligence officer with the highest level of security credentials, that is access to classified extraterrestrial intelligence information, outer space intelligence, off-world intelligence. I'm pretty sure that he's an insane motherfucking lunatic too. So all these people have been government officials in the highest of standing. And they've all come forward just like the Gaia Project. That's right, just like the Gaia Project. Who runs the Gaia Project? Who's the doctor over there? Let's look up the Gaia Project. Let's look up the PhD and doctor over there. I'm sure he's an insane lunatic too. Gaia Project. Here we go. Gaia Project. Okay. Finally. Oh, this is a game. These people, they think, okay, so they've made a board game out of this. That's really interesting. Well, it looks like someone is trying to sanitize the web, and when you search for Gaia Project, it looks like fucking games come up. I wonder if Google had anything to do with that. That's really interesting that Google would show board games and computer games for the Gaia Project. So anyway, let's talk about Dr. Greer. Let's talk about Dr. Greer and all of the various government officials that Dr. Greer, I believe it's a Dr. Stephen Greer. Yeah, so, you know, all of these government, military, and other officials have come forward. Scientists, aerospace engineers, pilots, military personnel, aviators, stealth fighter pilots, soldiers, you name it, life scientists, astrobiologists, the whole fucking range, the full gamut. People have come forward as part of the Gaia Project and MUFON, MUFON as in November. All these people have come forward and they have said everything that I've said. And then there's this opinion piece today that there have never been any aliens at Area 51. That's really fucking interesting. I mean, I respect your opinion, and I don't know what you were told by our government, but I'm assuming that what you stated isn't what you really truly think. So let's look up S-4 aliens, and let's see where S-4 is in relation to Area 51, where Area 51, the latter, supposedly has never ever been transited, according to the opinion piece that I read just some minutes ago. S-4. Yeah, I get it, Google. I know what's going on here, Google. But trust me, I've got the workaround here. I've got the workaround, Google. That's right. I'm one Sir Grove. And here we motherfucking go. So, looking at current information that is available, it says that as of 20 July 2017 on Reddit, quote, The place where Bob Lazar's S-4 allegedly exists is near 37 degrees north, 115 degrees west. Huh. And then it says, quote, I recall Bob Lazar telling Art Bell he believed the bus to S-4 traveled south from Area 51. What a fucking coincidence.